Hola amigos y amigas, hoy vamos a hacer un cuento with Storyjumper. We're going to make a little story with Storyjumper and learn how to escribir un librito, just a little libro, okay? So it says here, the directions. Today you'll be creating a short seis página libro de seis páginas, just 6 pages, all right? And you're going to follow along, maybe use the strike through feature if you can on this document here, because this has all of the instrucciones, all of las instrucciones. All right, use the numbered list below and use strike through to keep tabs on where you're going. Número uno, you're going to give your book a title. Mi rutina diaria. And you're going to put that on the front cover, okay? Maybe you'll add your name there too. You could say por, P-O-R, which means by, por Miguel. All right, you may add a picture or change the color of your book if you choose as well to change the front color of your book. Número dos. Put your name on the cover of the book. Well, would you look at that? This will show that you are the author. That's what I was looking for. Put your name on the front cover of the book. All right. Número tres. Below, on this paper, you're going to change the verbs to say, I perform this action. All right. So we learned how to do this before. So how to conjugate. Let's look at the sample. Cepillarse el pelo. Cepillarse el pelo. When I look at cepillarse el pelo, we're thinking, okay, this is a reflexive verb or a verb with a reflexive pronoun. So we need to find out if I'm talking about yo, then what is the pronoun, the reflexive pronoun that replaces se? What is that one? It's going to be me. So we switch it to me here. Then where do we put it? We put it in front of cepillar. All right, so now we have me cepillar. As we look at this, let's say, I'll doodle it here. Me cepillar. All right, still are not done conjugating this yet. We still need to conjugate cepillar into the yo form. All right, and to conjugate an AR verb in the yo form, you have to first take off the AR, and you put on the ending with the yo form is O. So it's me cepillo, and we're actually talking about el pelo here. All right, so it becomes me cepillo el pelo. Just like it says here, me cepillo el pelo. All right, perfect. The other way to do it, that is an option, is if you want to say I have to do things, you could say tengo que cepillarme. Remember that we switch the se to me if we're talking about ourselves. Cepillarme el pelo. Very good. So now you're going to conjugate. So you have to conjugate all of these into the yo form first. When you're finished with that, then you can come down here and combine your conjugations and add the time you complete them in Spanish. Spell out your time. Don't just write the number 6. Write it out, spell it out. All right, so we have me cepillo el pelo. Now when you want to say at a time, you use a las 7. A las 5. A las 5. All right. And then you can add y cuarto, 5:30 de la noche, de la mañana. Depends on if you're doing these things de la mañana, or maybe you want to add something that you do de la noche, at night. At night. You could also write tengo que if you wanted to go the tengo que route. All right. Número 5, you're going to copy and paste your completed first sentence onto the first page of your book and add an image to demonstrate the meaning of your sentence. So, copy and paste your first sentence onto the first, well, I guess it's the second page of your book because you already have the title or the cover. All right. So you want to have your sentences done already here, and then you can just copy and paste them into the book so you know what you're doing and you're going to do it right. Número 6, do the same with the rest of the sentences. Next to the bullet points, you should have 5 pages with one sentence on each page and one picture on each page. Make sure you have a foto, una foto, for each página, for each page. Número 7. On the 6th and final page, you're going to write this, which means I am always late for school because. Even if you're not always late for school, even if you're only sometimes late for school, you're going to use this sentence. Siempre llego tarde al colegio porque. Siempre, I always, llego, arrive, tarde, late, al colegio, to high school, porque, because what? Porque me gusta dormir, because I like to sleep, porque no me gusta despertarme, all right? So you can choose one of these 2 reasons. If you have another reason in mind that you'd like to use, you can hablar conmigo and we can find out a good creative way to say that en español. Don't just Google up a bunch of stuff because you're going to end up with some weird sentence that doesn't make any sense. All right, so número 9 says add a picture to your 6th sentence to show why you're always late for school. So you're going to add a picture to represent this sentence. Siempre llego tarde al colegio porque, and then one of these, and a photo, okay? If this does not make sense, if you have more preguntas, write them down first. Write down your preguntas so you can ask me. Don't just tell me, I don't get it. Form a complete, concrete question about what you don't get. ¿Qué no entiendes? ¿Ok? Pues, muchas gracias y hasta luego.